I was
I
absolutely certain.
remember
forest. Oh, noble fool, a worthy fool, Motley's the only wear. You, hold thy peace, I prithee hold thy peace. Ooh, hold thy peace, I prithee hold thy peace. Ooh, hold thy peace, I prithee hold thy peace. Ooh, hold thy peace, I prithee hold thy peace. Stop. You, thou knave, hold thy peace, thou knave, hold thy peace, thou knave, hold thy peace, thou knave. Stop. Hold thy peace, thou knave, hold thy peace. Ooh. Hold thy peace, thou knave, hold thy peace. Oh, come on, they were better. Hold thy peace, thou knave, hold thy peace. Ooh, come on, the ooh's really important. Do it again. Hold thy peace, thou knave, hold thy peace. Ooh, they dodge, they dodge. Right. Hold thy peace, I prithee hold thy peace. Ooh, hold thy peace, I prithee hold thy peace.
Ooh, hold thy peace, I prithee hold thy peace. Ooh, hold thy peace, I prithee hold thy peace. Ooh, hold thy peace.
Come on. Can you not remember it?
Hold thy peace, I prithee hold thy peace.
Hold thy peace, thou knave, hold thy peace. Ooh. Hold thy peace, thou knave, hold thy peace. Ooh. Stop. Round of applause. They don't deserve it, and you be ashamed of yourselves. The Fool, ladies and gentlemen, from Commedia dell'arte to Shakespeare, from Oscar Wilde to the modern day pantomime. We have always been fascinated between the conflict that exists between the wise man and the fool. Better a witty fool than a foolish wit, an upstart crow said some 400 or so years ago. But what do the words mean of that round that you have just so willingly sung? And why did you join in with it? Hold thy peace, what does that mean? Shut up. Yes, it does. Although that was quite aggressive, isn't it? I'm sorry, I'm doing my best. So shut up, I prithee. Please, yes, thou knave. Thou knave, you naughty boy. Yes, please shut up, you naughty boy, is what you lot have just sung. I bet that's not what you were thinking when you got up this morning. You didn't think, you know, today I should be singing Shut Up, You Naughty Boy in Sam Wanamaker's Playhouse. No, you didn't. But why did you join in so willingly? Is it because, well, I told you, really, wasn't it? I told you to do it. Yes? Body language, really important, isn't it? Yes, it is, yes. Intonation, words, so much more than words, and also the fear of not joining in. You lot, isn't it? Yes? So, maybe what we need to do is we need to beware the words of those who suppose themselves to be wise, and perhaps we need to listen to the words of those who we presume to be a fool, because maybe they're telling us something that we didn't know that we needed to know. But then why listen to me? I'm just a clown, a grown-up wearing a tutu and a cow print dress. But there we go. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, enough of that nonsense. Welcome. Welcome to the grand final of the Performing Shakespeare competition in this incredible venue. I think, ladies and gentlemen, let's just give the building a round of applause. It's just an incredible place and a fabulous, fabulous opportunity for these young people to perform on a reconstructed Jacobean stage. Just look at it, you lot, and enjoy it. So the English-speaking union, what's that all about? Well, the English-speaking union was kind of created out of the ashes of the First World War in a belief that what we need to do is we need to be able to speak to be understood, but also listen so that we can understand. And as these young people all head towards, well, being grown-ups, which is a bit rubbish, really, isn't it? Being a grown-up. should become an actor. We never have to grow up. It's brilliant. But as they head towards the adult years that we all have to exist in, it's really important for them to be able to be confident, stand up on a stage and express themselves, but also be able to listen respectively and to be able to communicate with different cultures and different communities as we head out into this massive world that we all exist in. Although today, let's just concentrate on this beautiful wooden O, shall we? And that's what the English Speaking Union is all about. It's enabling these young people to be able to do that in their lives. It's a fabulous competition. It's one of my favourite. In fact, it's my favourite. I might as well be honest. I'm a Shakespeare geek. So it allows them not only to develop their oracy skills, but also to take a Shakespeare character and put it on like a big old coat and inhabit that person and look at what goes on in the mind and the emotions of another person, to walk a mile in someone else's shoes. And kids today, what's going to happen if you walk a mile in my shoes? What are you going to get?
Smelly feet.
I primed them. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we start with today's proceedings, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hand over to the English Speaking Union's Director of Education. So please help me welcome to the stage Louisa Searle.
Thanks, Reverend. Please don't worry, I'm not going to make you sing as well, but what an act to follow. Welcome to the Sam Wanamaker Playhouse and to the 2025 Performing Shakespeare Grand Final. My name's Louisa and I'm the Director of Education here at the ESU. As Jen has so brilliantly described, the ESU was founded in 1918 on the belief that there is a power in communication to connect us all. And that means that for over 100 years, we have been nurturing young voices around the world. And today's competition is a baby by comparison. Performing Shakespeare as a competition is only 15 years old. It is a unique competition within our portfolio because it combines this element of oracy and public speaking with performance and creativity. And it is really special for that reason. It is designed to nurture great orators and public speakers, but also talented young thespians. This year's competition has seen 8 months of fierce competition across England and Wales, involving over 130 schools and over 2,000 young people. They have joined up in their regional competitions, the competitions in their schools, and with other schools as well, to be whittled down to the final 12 performances today. And they should be so, so proud, as we all are, of their efforts just in making it here today. There's going to be lots of chances to celebrate them and many others today, but I just want to take a moment before we get started with the regional final presentation to say a big thank you to the people who got them here, their teachers and their coaches. I know from experience as a former educator myself how hard you work and how much of yourselves you give to get your young people here today and to give them the confidence to stand up and take up these opportunities. So before we get going, can we give a big round of applause to the teachers? And we're about to see 12 absolutely wonderful performances. They will move you and entertain you, and I really, really wish them the best, and in true theatre style, but not literally, wish that they break a leg, and look forward to seeing them in action. Enjoy this afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much. Back to you, Jen.
Thank you very much, and already we have learnt the perils of being in a theatre like this. What did you drop? Was it the programme? I've seen someone drop glasses. That was quite funny. And also when we had musicians in a musicians gallery at one of the shows at the RSC, somebody was really distressed because it was raining on them, and what it actually was the dribble from the trumpet. So there we go. You're lucky it was just the programme, honestly. So On that note, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is we're going to reward our finalists for getting to this point in the competition, because we are representing all sorts of different regions today, and each one of these performances comes from a different region in the United Kingdom, which is absolutely fabulous. So let us bring up to the stage for the East, Micah Joseph from King Edward VI CEVC School. A round of applause. Northwest and North Wales, Jacob Follett and Fred Holland Carson from Birkdale High School. And stop. For the South East, Alice Tidy and Sophie King from Sackville School. For the North East, Vida Adler and Bethan Hill from Ackworth School. Wow! For East London, Helena Cow and Eleanor Koo from Eltham College. For West London, Poppy Letting from Ibstock Place School. For the South Wales and West England, we have got Elsie Maddox from Cathedral School and AF. For the South West, Miss Godfrey from Stoner School. For the East Midlands, Ethan Lee from Hymas College. For the South, we have Keo Majele and Lauren O'Connor from Ash Manor School. And for the Mid-South, Shreya from Sir William Borlase Grammar School. There's one more. Who have I missed out? From my area as well, from the West Midlands. From the West Midlands! Andrew Thorpe from Warwick School! Yeah. That's live theatre, folks. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give a great big round of applause for our regional finalists. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Some of them are so tiny. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's now time to turn to today's competition and to give a warm welcome to our esteemed judging panel who are sitting out somewhere there in the darkness. So we are joined today by our chair judge, who is Lucy Cuthbertson, who is the Director of Education for Shakespeare's Globe. She has 20 years in drama teaching and oversees all of the work with schools, teachers and young people here at the Globe. As theatre director, she is twice Olivier nominated for Globe family shows, Midsummer Mechanicals and Rough Magic, with splendid productions. And they've got a lovely poster on the back of the door in the toilets, which I was paying great attention to today, which is fabulous. Romeo and Juliet in 2024 and Macbeth in 2025 for playing Shakespeare in the Globe Theatre. Joining Lucy is Abigail Cruttenden. Abigail has worked as an actress since she was 11 years old. So there's hope for you yet, kids. Her stage credits include work with the RSC, the Royal National Theatre and the Globe. Her film work includes Denial, The Theory of Everything, Charlotte Gray and Hideous Kinky. On television, she'd worked on several series including Sharp, The Robinsons, Benidorm and Not Going Out. Abigail has just finished a Bath Theatre royal tour of A Man for All Seasons, which is transferring to the West End in July. book your tickets. Next up is Anthony Shrubshaw, a freelance director and former academic. His directing credits include The Last Days of Liz Truss and Synchronicity at the White Bear Theatre. Rita's Rooms at the Playground Theatre, which earned an Ofcom Award, and Lear Alone, staged at the Space and at the Edinburgh Fringe, which won an Off West End Oncom Award in 2022, along with Best Director at Scene Saver Awards. We've also got on our panel Simon Kelly, a classically trained musician with a master's degree. Oh dear, a musician. I'm sorry about my singing earlier. It wasn't very good. With a master's degree from the Royal Academy of Music. He has experience in working in both theatre and orchestral music, as well as curating and presenting solo recitals on board Fred Olsen and P&O cruise lines. Simon's an alumnus of ESU competitions and continues to champion the relationships between oracy and the arts, helping to connect audiences with unfamiliar works and offering a unique perspective through performance. Simon has also led various performing Shakespeare heats and so has seen the competition in all its stages. Last and certainly not least is Andrew Simmons, a recent graduate of the Globe KCL Shakespeare Studies MA. Andrew has been an independent school deputy head, a university lecturer and a national newspaper arts feature writer, so you better behave yourselves today, young people. He's had many years experience preparing students for and judging the English-speaking union competitions and strongly believes in the transformative powers of oracy and literacy. Please join us in welcoming all of our esteemed and talented judges. A quick reminder of the competition format today. Each performer will present, and we've got either monologues or duologues today, will present a 5-minute performance. 2 minutes of that is dedicated to the oracy component and 3 minutes for the acting performance. However, we're not going to mark you down if you go over or under your time. But still, speak quickly, okay? We've got 3 awards to present: the winner, the runner-up, and the Don Miller Audience Choice Award. Now, this Audience Choice Award and the QR code, ooh, I know, what would Shakespeare think of that? For you to use can be found in your programme, but if you need a physical voting slip, then do find somebody from the English-speaking union, rugby tackle them to the ground and insist that they give you one, because it's very, very important. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we are going to invite our first performer to the stage. So we have Micah Joseph from King Edward VI CEVC School performing Macbeth from Macbeth, Act 2, Scene 1.
Hi, my name is Micah and I'm 13 years old. I'll be performing as Macbeth from Act 2, Scene 1, which is also known as the dagger scene. While I was preparing this speech, I spent a lot of time trying to look for a fresh, new angle that I don't feel like's been done much before. But one of the things I realized I love so much about Shakespeare is that almost all of the topics that he wrote about centuries ago are still so important and relevant for our own societies today. So, because of this, in my performance today, I would like to incorporate elements of fear and how that can possibly lead to toxic masculinity. I particularly chose this scene because it's one of the first times in the play where we see Macbeth not just as a cold-hearted killer, but also as a man at war with himself. Everyone's afraid of something. And for Macbeth, whether it was fear of underperforming, fear of not living up to his wife's demands, or just being fearful in general, almost all of his actions were intrinsically motivated by fear. For example, when he's told that he's going to rule, his first inclination is his own preservation. He does anything to get his way, even if that means killing someone who was extremely close to him, his own king, King Duncan. There are also many features of toxic masculinity in this play. Macbeth's unwillingness to open up to close friends like Banquo ends up harming himself. But The real damage is done when these same bad traits enter the home. Lady Macbeth psychologically abuses Macbeth throughout their entire marriage, and this leaves him with a warped outlook on life and of himself. It leaves him more prone to resorting to violence, and as a result, he can't confront his own feelings. Lady Macbeth also uses phrases like, "be more of a man," to Macbeth, and phrases like "man up" echo that same toxic mentality today. Because of this, I know that these topics of fear and toxic masculinity, they're ones that have been touched on frequently. But I know that until we find a permanent and clear solution to all of them, they're ones that need to be talked about repeatedly. I hope I can show all of these elements in my performance today, and I really hope you enjoy. Go, bid thy mistress when my drink is ready. She strike upon the bell, get thee to bed. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle towards my hand. Come, let me clutch thee! I have thee not in yet. I see thee still! Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight, or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation, proceeding from the heat oppressed brain? I see thee still, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshallest me the way the soul is going, and such an instrument I will use. Mine eyes are made the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee still, and on thy blade and dudgeon gouts of blood, which was not so before. There's no such thing. It's the bloody business which informs us to mine eyes. Now o'er the one half world, nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder, hallooed by a sentinel, the wolf who howls his watch, thus with stealthy pace. With Harquin's ravishing strides towards his design, moves like a ghost. Now, sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps which way they walk, for fear thy very stones prate of my whereabout, and take the present horror from the time, which now suits with it. Whilst I threat, he lives! Words to the heat of deeds, too cold breath gives. I go, and this is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons you to heaven or to hell.
What a way to start, ladies and gentlemen. What a way to start. These young people are fearless, aren't they? Made you jump, didn't he? You were like that. Whoa, what's going on here? Nervous giggle and all of that. Absolutely brilliant. Of course, now that we've said Macbeth, I'm going to have to go out. I'm going to have to turn around 3 times, spit on the floor, knock on the door, ask to be let back in so that we don't leave a curse on this fabulous building. Also realised I haven't introduced myself at all, which is probably very rude of me. My name's Jen. I'm an actor. I'm a director. I run a theatre company. We are currently in the middle of a tour of Lady Windermere's Fan. In fact, Lady Windermere is sitting here in the audience with me today, which is fabulous. Really lovely. And I've been involved with this competition for more years than I wish to mention. And I genuinely have the best job in the world because look at me, look at what I'm doing. Never have to grow up. We never have to grow up. It's the best thing about it. So, ploughing very quickly on. We're going for the meaty ones today, ladies and gentlemen. Jacob Follett and Fred Holland Carson from Birkdale High School are going to be performing Richard and Lady Anne from Richard III, Act 1, Scene 2.
Good evening. We're Jacob and Fred, and we're going to introduce you to our performance. Shakespeare's play, Richard III, is about a Machiavellian and tyrannical leader who'll stop at nothing to obtain the throne. Before the play begins, Richard and his brothers of York had killed King Henry VI of Lancaster and his son Edward in the Battle of Tewkesbury. In this particular scene, I, Richard, am trying to woo the widow of Prince Edward, whose husband I've recently killed. Trying to convince Lady Anne, played by me, to marry me, I endure countless insults, but eventually she goes on to give me her hand in marriage. She's clearly won over by my charm and wit. But this scene has nothing to do with romance or love. Ultimately, I've nursed a turn as the widow and daughter of deceased traitors. I offer safety in a world full of danger. How romantic. But we want the audience to see this representing a business deal or a political alliance. Perhaps not too dissimilar to a president making pacts to gain access to mineral wealth in return for protection. As such, we invite you to view our characters as free from traditional gender constraints. Instead, we use 2 politicians, with you, the audience, as our constituents. At times, we will face out to you like rhetoric-filled politicians. In this scene, we will witness a momentous standoff between 2 powerful characters, the courageous, tenacious underdog and the master manipulator. Our stage and sees the chair become Henry's coffin and acts as a symbol of power. Whose power? Initially, Richard underestimates Anne's animosity and she has control. Note how we use levels to signify Anne's superiority, as she condemns Richard unfit for any place but hell. He is literally and metaphorically at rock bottom. Power starts to shift, however, as Richard changes tactic to eloquently flatter Anne. The proximity of the character out shifts as Richard gradually chips away at Anne's resolve. Conventionally, Richard is shown with a physical impediment. No, we have consciously chosen not to depict Richard with a visible impediment. More recent archaeological discoveries have revealed that while Richard did have scoliosis, his hunchback and withered arm are pure fiction. We believe it no longer appropriate to use physical impediment as a metaphor for corruption of morality. After all, his cunning ways and Machiavellian nature are clear from his words alone, which just goes to show the power of language. We hope you enjoy. I did not kill your husband. Why? Then he is alive? Nay, he is dead, and slain by Edward's hands. I was provoked by her slanderous tongue that laid their guilt upon my guiltless shoulders. Thou wast provoked by thy bloody mind, that never dreamt on aught but butcheries. Didst thou not kill this king? I grant you. Dost grant me, hedgehog? Then God grant me too. Thou mayest be damned for that wicked deed. Oh, he was gentle, mild, and virtuous.
Oh, the better for the King of Heaven that hath him.
He is in heaven, where thou shalt never come.
Then let him thank me that holp to send him thither, for he was fitter for that place on earth.
And thou unfit for any place but hell!
Yes. One place else, if you'll hear me name it.
Some dungeon.
Your bedchamber.
Ill rest betide the chamber where thou liest.
So it will, madam, till I lie with you.
I hope so.
I know so. But gentle Lady Anne, to leave this keen encounter of our wits and fall something into a slower method is not the causer of the timeless deaths of these Plantagenets, Henry and Edward, as blameful as the executioner.
Thou was the cause, a most accursed effect.
Your beauty was the cause of that effect. Your beauty that did haunt me in my sleep, to undertake the death of all the world so I might live 1 hour in your sweet bosom.
If I thought that, I tell thee, homicide! These nails should rend that beauty from my cheeks.
These eyes could not endure thy beauty's wreck. You should not blemish it if I stood by. As all the world is cheered by the sun, so I by that. It is my day, my life.
Black night overshade thy day, and death thy life.
Curse not thyself, fair creature. Thou art both.
I would I were, to be revenged on thee.
It's a quarrel most unnatural to be revenged on him that loveth thee.
It is a quarrel just and reasonable to be revenged on him that killed my husband.
Him that bereft thee of thy husband, fair lady. Did it to help thee to a better husband.
His better doth not breathe upon the earth.
He lives that loves better than he could.
Name him.
Plantagenet.
Why, that was he.
Well, the self-same name, but one of better nature.
Where is he?
Here.
Why dost thou spit at me? Was a mortal poison for thy sake?
Never came poison from so sweet a place.
Never hung poison on a foul toad. Out of my sight. Thou dost infect mine eyes.
Thine eyes, sweet lady, have infected mine.
Stage manager as well. Honestly. There we go. They're good, aren't they? Aren't they good? I worked with an actor in a wheelchair once called Neil Hancock, and his performance of Richard III just made your skin crawl. And he was able to use his wheelchair as kind of a tool in his bullying. And we used to do Demetrius and Helena. And when I used to do Use Me As You Would Use Your Dog, I'd kneel on the floor and then he'd run over my hand with his wheelchair. It was absolutely brilliant, the way that we can do stuff and really bring these scenes to life in ways that perhaps people might not imagine. So courageous, these young people. I do talk a little bit in between because it gives the judges a chance to write some notes quickly. It's not me just making stuff up to keep you entertained. There is a reason for it, I promise. So next we are going to go, these kids are picking really courageous stuff this year. We usually get quite a lot of light stuff, but they're going for it this year. So Alice Tidy and Sophie King from Sackville School are performing as Portia and Nerisha from The Merchant of Venice, Act 1, Scene 2.
Hi, I'm Sophie.
And I'm Alice. Today, we will be performing an extract from Act 1, Scene 2 of The Merchant of Venice. In this scene, Portia complains about her situation, being unable to choose a husband due to the challenges devised by her father.
Before being reminded by Nerissa that she is exceptionally fortunate. They then discuss the suitors that are lining up to take the challenge and the different way that Portia despises them.
I will be portraying Portia, a wealthy and intelligent noblewoman who uses her brains to herself and others' advantage.
Well, I'll be playing Nerissa, her lady-in-waiting, who shows just as much intelligence as her mistress and acts as a guiding light in this scene.
Last year, we explored the relationship between Brutus and Cassius in the tragic history Julius Caesar, and the ways in which Cassius manipulates Brutus to his will.
This year, we wanted to explore the relationships in a comedy, and The Merchant of Venice provides the perfect opportunity to explore complex relationships between Portia and Nerissa, one in which women are both able to speak openly and freely in a way that wouldn't often be seen at the time, while both having hugely different social class positions.
The play is a romantic comedy with complex explorations of love, prejudice, justice, religion, and mercy.
These are all such hugely important factors to create the central message of Merchant of Venice. Love is more important than money, mercy is better than revenge, and love lasts forever.
Thank you. We hope you enjoy our performance.
Your father was ever virtuous, and holy men at their deaths have good inspirations. Therefore, the lottery that he hath devised in these 3 chests of gold, silver, and lead, whereof who chooses his meaning, chooses you, will no doubt never be chosen by any rightly, but one who you shall rightly love. But what warmth is there in your affection towards any of these princely suitors are already come?
I pray thee overname them, and as thou namest them, I will describe them, and according to my description, level at my affection.
First, there is the Neapolitan prince.
Aye, that's a colt indeed, for he doth nothing but talk of his horse, and he makes it a great appropriation to his own good parts that he can chew him himself. I am much afeard, my lady. His mother played false with a smith.
Then is there the County Palatine?
He doth nothing but frown, and who should say, and you will not have me choose? He hears merry tales, and smiles not. I fear he will prove the weeping philosopher when he grows old, being full of so much unmannerly sadness in his youth. I had rather be married to a death's head with a bone in its mouth than to either of these. God defend me from these 2.
How say you by the French lord, Monsieur Le Bon?
God made him, and therefore let him pass for a man. In truth, I know it is a sin to be a mocker, but why? He hath a horse better than the Neapolitans, a better bad habit of frowning than the Count Palatine. He is every man in no man. If a throstle sing, he falls straight a caprieing. He will fence with his own shadow. If I should marry him, I should marry 20 husbands. If he would despise me, I would forgive him. For if he loves me to madness, I shall never requite him.
What say you then to Falconbridge, the young Baron of England?
You know I say nothing of him, for he understands not me, nor I him. He hath neither Latin, French, nor Italian, and you will come to the court and swear that I have a poor pennyworth in the English. He is a proper man's picture, but alas, who can converse with a dumb show? How oddly he is suited. I think he bought his doublet in Italy, his round hose in France, his bonnet in Germany, and his behaviour everywhere.
What think you of the Scottish lord, his neighbour?
That he hath a neighbourly charity within him, for he borrowed a box of the ear of the Englishman and swore he would pay him back when he was able. I think the Frenchman became his surety and sealed under for another.
How like you the young German? The Duke of Saxony's nephew.
Very lot vilely in the morning when he is sober, and most vilely in the afternoon when he is drunk. When he is best, he's a little worse than a man. And when he is worst, he's a little better than a beast. And the worst fall that ever fell, I hope I shall make shift to go without him.
If he should offer to choose, and choose the right casket. You should refuse to perform your father's will if you should refuse to accept him.
Therefore, for fear of the worst, I pray thee set a deep glass of Rhenish wine on the contrary casket. For if the devil be within and temptation without, I know he would choose it. I will do anything, Nerissa, I will be married to a sponge.
Do you not remember, lady, in your father's time, a Venetian, a scholar, and a soldier that came hither in company of the Marquis of Montferrat?
Yes, it was Bassanio. As so I think. So was he called?
True, madame. He of all the men that ever my foolish eyes looked upon was best deserving a fair lady.
I remember him well, and I remember him worthy of thy praise.
Love is more important than money, they say. Should they become professional actors, they won't say that quite so easily. So here we head towards a contentious play, a difficult play. Not very long ago, the Royal Shakespeare Company did this play and they swapped the genders completely. Did that solve the issues of the play? I'm not sure it did. So it's really interesting today that these young people are choosing to present it to us. So we've got Vida Adler and Bethan Hill from Ackworth School performing Petruchio and Caterina from The Taming of the Shrew, Act 2, Scene 1.
And we're going to be performing Act 2, Scene 1 of Taming of the Shrew. I will be playing Petruchio.
And I'll be playing Catherine. When we were looking for a piece to play, we were looking for something that we would enjoy acting and learning,
whilst also testing ourselves with a more emotionally challenging piece. Taming of the Shrew first appeared in the folio of 1623. However, it is actually seen closely connected with a play that was published way back in 1594.
with them also bearing the almost identical title of The Taming of a Shrew rather than The Taming of the Shrew.
I don't like my character Petruchio as a person. He is obviously not very nice at all. But I really do enjoy playing him because I think it's sort of provocative to see the twist of emotions, which is very swift. You barely notice the extreme switch of him being arrogant and cocky and flirty and thinking he could just wrap Catherine around his finger, to him actually physically harassing her because she won't abide with whatever he wants, exactly when he wants it.
I love my character Catherine, as she's a strong, independent woman who, to her, Petruchio is just another vexatious man in her life. Or that's what she's expecting. But as Petruchio begins to show his true self, she starts to break under his horrid mistreatment.
In this scene, Petruchio is finally meeting the woman that he has made a bet on that he is going to be able to convince to marry him. And I think he knew somewhat what he was getting himself into. I mean, he'd heard some rumors about Catherine, like how she was a shrew, which is basically a woman who is seen as a threat to others or has no control.
Although, whilst we are performing this, we'd like you to keep in mind that what is happening to Catherine in this scene still happens today, and something similar will be happening right now. This unfortunately happens more commonly to women due to the misogynistic beliefs we still have in our society. We want you to know that it's never okay and it should never be justified.
72% of women all over the world of all ages have experienced some kind of harassment in public similar to what Catherine is feeling. And 97% of young women ages 18 to 24 have experienced the same exact thing. If social standards have improved so much since Shakespeare's time, then imagine what it would have been like for Catherine 400 to 500 years ago. Without further ado, we hope you enjoy the performance. I'll attend her here, and woo her with some spirit when she comes. Say that she rail, why then I'll tell her plain. She sings as sweetly as a nightingale. Say that she frown, I'll say she looks as clear as morning roses newly washed with dew. If she be mute and not speak a word, I'll commend her volubility, and say she uttereth piercing eloquence. And if she do bid me pack, I will give her thanks, as though she bid me stay by her a week. And if she deny to wed, I'll crave the day when I ask the banes and when be married. But here she comes, and now Petruchio speak. Good morrow, Kate. For that's your name I hear.
Well, have you heard but something hard of hearing? Those who do talk of me call me Catherine.
You lie, in faith. For you are called plain Kate, and bonny Kate, and sometimes Kate the cursed. Oh, no, but Kate, the prettiest Kate in Christendom. Kate of Kate Hall, my super dainty Kate. Oh, for dainties are all Kates, and therefore, Kate, take this of me, Kate of my constellation, hearing thy mildness praised in every town, thy virtues spoke of and thy beauty sounded, though not so deeply as to thee belongs, I am moved to woo thee for my wife.
Moved? In good time. Let him that moved you hither remove you hence. I knew at the first you were immovable.
Why, what's immovable?
A joined stool.
Thou hast hit it. Come, sit on me.
Asses are made to bear, and so are you.
Women are made to bear, and so are you.
No such jade as you, me, you mean.
Come, Kate, come. I will not burden thee, for knowing thee to be but young and light.
Too light for such swain as you to catch, yet just as heavy as my weight should be.
Should buzz.
Well, ta'en and like a buzzard.
Oh, slow-winged turtle, shall a buzzard take thee?
Hey, for a turtle if he takes buzzard.
Oh, come, you wasp. By faith, you are too angry.
If I be waspish, best beware my sting.
My remedy is then to pluck it out.
Hey, if the fool could find where it lies.
Who not knows where wasp does wear his sting? In his tail.
In his tongue.
Whose tongue?
Yours if you talk of tails, and so farewell.
With my tongue in your tail may come again. Good Kate, I am a gentleman.
That I'll try.
I swear I'll cuff you if you strike again.
Well, then may you lose your arms. If you strike me, you are no gentleman. And if no gentleman, why then no arms?
A herald, Kate? Or put me in thy books.
What is your crest? Coxcomb?
Combless cock. So Kate will be my hen.
No cock of mine, you crow to like a craven.
Now, come, you must not look so sour.
It is my fashion when I see a crab.
Why, here's no crab. So therefore look not sour.
There is. There is.
Then show it to me.
Had I a glass, I would.
What, you mean my face?
Well, aimed at such a young one.
Now, I say, George, I am too young for you.
Yet you are withered.
'Tis with cares.
I care not.
Setting all this trash aside, your father has consented that you will be my wife. And will you? I will marry you. Now, Kate, I am a husband for your turn. Whereby this light, whereby I see thy beauty. Thy beauty that make me like thee well. You shall be married to no man but me. For I was born to tame you, Kate, and bring you from a wild Kate to a Kate as conformable as other household Kates. Here come is your father. Never make denial. I must and will have Catherine for my wife.
Those two have giggled all morning. That is all they've done. They've held hands and giggled all morning. We did an exercise where they had to squidge their faces up to look like a cat's bottom, and the pair of them lost the plot completely. This is why theatre's so brilliant, because then they change it and they become that kind of performance, which is really quite amazing to see the transformation that these young people can do. So now we're going to move on to something a little lighter, let's hope. So we've got Helena Cow and Eleanor Koo from Eltham College performing Demetrius and Helena from A Midsummer Night's Dream, Act 2, Scene 1.
Hi, I'm Helena.
Hi, I'm Elena.
And we're in Year 7. Today we're performing A Midsummer Night's Dream, Act 2,
Scene 1.
I'm playing Demetrius, the cruel, arrogant, cold-hearted character who truly despises Helena with all his heart. He treats her horribly and wants nothing to do with her. After all, he's devoted to his love, Hermia. In Shakespeare's time, men were really like this, and women weren't allowed to do anything.
I am playing Helena. She is the naive, love-stricken and torn character who genuinely loves Demetrius with all her heart. Demetrius mentally abuses her with words not deserving of her, yet she still chases after him.
These are some of Shakespeare's younger characters, in their teenage years,
whom are all experiencing new heightened emotions for the very first time.
And we can relate to them because we too are slowly edging into these mature emotions.
As teenagers, we feel like we have a connection to them.
Just to clarify, I'm Helena, playing Demetrius.
And I'm Elena, playing Helena.
This scene is all about Demetrius being relentlessly pursued by Helena.
We chose A Midsummer's Night Dream because we want to show the power of women through Helena's actions.
And that women shouldn't allow themselves to be treated in such manner, just for the sake of love.
How do you think William Shakespeare portrayed Helena the character?
I think Helena is blinded by love. She should be stronger for herself and protect herself from hatred she doesn't deserve.
I agree. Don't we all agree?
The comedy in the scene is using big, dramatic gestures, the power dynamics every so often, and Demetrius's exaggerated disgust.
It's super fun to play this part.
Elena and I go back on exaggerated acting.
Yup, ever since Year 3.
We used to create our own comedic sketches, like mini Shakespeare's ourselves.
This relates to modern day life through our human actions. It's not right for Demetrius to act this way. Helena deserves better.
The point is that love is hard and not always the same. Love is difficult and not always worth it. And love is the most complicated feeling.
We can't exactly give advice to you those that needing it.
We're too young.
But we can say that love works out itself, and whatever mistake or path you take, someone will always love you, whether romantically or not.
Like us. Thank you. I love thee not, therefore pursue me not. Where's Lysander? And fair Hermia, the one I'll slay, the other slayeth me. Thou toldest me they were stolen onto this wood, and here I am, and wood within this wood, because I cannot meet my Hermia. Hence, get thee gone and follow me no more.
You draw me, you hard-hearted adamant, but yet you draw not iron, for my heart is as true as steel. Leave you your power to draw, and I shall have no power to follow you.
Do I entice you? Do I speak you fair? Or rather, do I not in plainest truth tell you I do not nor cannot love you? And even for that, do I love you the more? I am your spaniel, and Demetrius, the more you beat me, I will fawn on you. Use me but as your spaniel. Spurn me, strike me, neglect me, lose me. Only give me leave, unworthy as I am to follow you. What worse or place can I beg in your love than a place of high respect in me, than to be used as you use your dog? Tempt not too much the hatred of my spirit, for I am sick when I do look on thee.
And I am sick when I look not on you.
You do impeach your modesty too much. To leave the city and commit yourself into the hands of one that loves thee not. To take the opportunity of the night and the ill counsel of a desert place with the rich worth of your virginity.
Your virtue is my privilege, for that it is not night when I do see your face. Therefore I think I am not in the night, nor doth this wood lack worlds accompany. For you, my respect are all the world, then how can it be said I am alone when all the world is here to look on me?
I'll run from thee, and hide thee in the woods, and leave thee to the mercy of wild beasts.
The wildest hath not such a heart as you. Run when you will, the story shall be changed. Apollo flies, and Daphne holds the chase. The dove pursues the griffin. The mild hind makes speed to catch the tiger, bootless speed, when cowardice pursues and valor flies.
I will not stay thy question, let me go. Or if thou follow me, do not believe, but I will do thee mischief in the wood.
Aye, in the temple, the town, the field, you do me mischief. Fie, Demetrius, your wrongs do set a scandal on my sex. We cannot fight for love, as men may do. We should be wooed and we're not made to woo. I'll follow thee and make a heaven or hell to die upon the hand I love so well.
Don't forget you're allowed to bow at the end. You are allowed to bow, it's all right. We were talking earlier about having to do a dance at the end of some of Shakespeare's plays, because they can be a bit gory, can't they? And about how we want the audience to come back and, you know, have a nice time and all of that kind of thing. I'm starting to feel that perhaps at the end I'm going to have to do some kind of dance to, you know, cheer everyone up a bit as we head into more tragedy, ladies and gentlemen. These kids, they can find tragedy in anything, can't they? You're dark, you lot, you're very dark. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to move into more Scottish tragedy as Poppy Letting from Ibstock Place School is performing Lady Macbeth from Macbeth, Act 5, Scene 1.
Hello, my name is Poppy. I'm 14 years old and I attend Ibstock Place School. Today I will be performing for you a part of Act 5, Scene 1 from Macbeth, and I will be playing the role of Lady Macbeth. The play was written by the great William Shakespeare in around 1606, and in this scene, Lady Macbeth is reflecting on her actions in killing King Duncan, hence the phrase, "out damned spot," as she is ever more conscious that she has been an accomplice to the murder of a king, and she is aware that there will be consequences for this act. I chose this monologue because I've always wanted to perform this, and I've always wanted to perform an emotional and moving character. There is an opportunity for an emotional connection between the audience and the performer, and I try to do this in my piece today. Exploring Lady Macbeth's deeper emotions, she's feeling guilty and distraught as she had many struggles in her life, including losing her baby and her psychological struggles. She was clearly mentally unstable before she died and was likely suffering from depression, and I tried to show the final stages of this in my piece today. Throughout the monologue, her state of fear and anxiety goes from bad to worse as she starts to analyse the blood on her hands a bit more. At the beginning of the piece, she's trying to eradicate the blood from her hands.
and eventually her fear turns to terror as she realises that it will stay there permanently. She is catastrophizing about the impending doom and almost foreshadowing as she talks about death and how hell is a murky place to be. As we know, in the end she does die and most likely goes to hell. And oddly, I do find myself empathising with Lady Macbeth, although others may find it difficult to empathise with her. I hope you enjoy my performance as much as I enjoy performing it. Thank you. Yet, here's a spot. Out. Damn spot. Out, I say. 1, 2, why then, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord. Fie, a soldier and a feared. What need we fear who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet, who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him? The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What will these hands near be clean? No more of that, my lord. No more of that. You mar all this with starting. Yet, here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes in Arabia could not sweeten this little hand. Oh. 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 Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out of his grave. To bed. To bed. There's a knocking at the gate. Come. Give me your hand. What is done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
It's interesting when we look at Shakespeare because we can be tempted to think that it's all very masculine and double and hose and all that kind of thing. But Shakespeare's portrayal of women is quite incredible. I think Lady Macbeth is probably one of the most iconic females in theatre history of all time, in any place, in any country, at any time, and it's really interesting. I was stuck in my own home for a while. I had a really bad car crash, broke my back, all sorts of things, and I had to stay in my own home, and I thought it would be really interesting to look at some of Shakespeare's women and see if we could turn them into one-woman plays. I was too bad-tempered to do Juliet. Cleopatra's too reactionary, everything about her. She just really reacts to stuff. She never really says anything. Ophelia you can do it with, but Lady Macbeth is really interesting because you can push all of her lines together and create a story. But when we came to put it on stage, I worked with one of the associate directors of the RSC to put it on stage, and even with a bit of the witches and a little bit of Macbeth's tomorrow's speech stuck on the end, Lady Macbeth only speaks out loud for 15 minutes. In that whole play, the whole of Macbeth, she only gets a voice for 15 minutes, and yet is possibly one of the most iconic female characters of theatre in all time, and it's lovely that we've got another Lady Macbeth coming up a little bit later. So now we're going to move on to Elsie Maddox from Cathedral School of Llandaff. She's performing Lance from Two Gentlemen of Verona, Act 2, Scene 3.
Two Gentlemen of Verona is considered by many to be Shakespeare's first written play. I'm Elsie Maddox, and this is my first time performing a theatrical monologue in a competition like this. So I thought it'd be fun to do a first sort of thing. I'm going to be performing Lance's monologue from Act 2, Scene 3. One of the main themes within the Two Gentlemen of Verona is friendship. You see, my friends and the fun we all have together is really important to me. And in this scene, Lance will be showing his friendship with his dog, Crab. Now, at a first glance, you may think, friendship? Hold on, the whole monologue's going on about how he hates his dog, how he's angry with his dog, how he's annoyed with his dog, how his dog's the worst. However, if you delve a little deeper, you'll realise that he's upset and annoyed and angry with his dog because he's leaving to go to the courts and leaving Crab behind. Now, Crab isn't there weeping at his feet, nor conveying the emotional response to his departure that Lance was hoping for. I like how Shakespeare shows this bond of friendship in a novel way. And one of the main things that I believe in life is you can get by without lots of things, but you've got to have friends. Also, Lance is funny. He was written by Shakespeare to be a clown. However, Shakespeare's skill ensures that even his comedic characters can feel a variety of emotions, such as frustration or upset, which adds other dimensions to their character. However, the primary role of a clown is to inject comedic relief into the performance and put a smile on the audience's faces. I'm a child. I want to have fun. I want to smile, laugh, and, well, yes, clown around a bit to balance out the boring stuff. And so I hope today, with my interpretation of Lance, I'll put a smile on your face. Thank you. Nay, 'twill be this hour. I have done weeping. All kind of Lances have this very fault. I have received my proportion, like the prodigious son, and am going with Sir Proteus to the Imperial's court. I think Crab, my dog, be the sourest-natured dog that lives. My mother, weeping, my father, wailing, my sister, crying, our maid, howling, our cat, wringing her hands, and all our house in a great perplexity. But not did this cruel-hearted cur shed one tear. He is a stone, a very pibble stone, and has no more pity in him than a dog. A Jew would have wept to have seen our parting. Why, my grandma, having no eyes, look you, wept herself blind at my parting. Nay, I'll show you the manner of it. This shoe is my father. No, this left shoe is my father. No, this left shoe is my mother. Nay, that cannot be so neither. It is so, it hath the worst, sir, so ha. This shoe with a hole in it is my mother, and this is my father, a vengeance on it that is. Look, sir, for this staff is my sister. For look you, she is as white as a lily and as small as a wand. This hat is Nan, our maid, and I am the dog. Oh, no, the dog is himself. And I'm the dog? Oh, the dog is me, and I am myself, I so. Now come I to my father. Father, your blessing. Now, should not the Shrew speak a word? For it's weeping. Should I kiss my father? Well, he weeps on. Now come I to my mother. Oh, that she could speak now like a wood woman. Well, I kiss her. What? Why, there 'tis! Here's my mother's breath up and down. Now come I to my sister. Mark the moan she makes. But all this while the dog sheds not a tear, nor speaks a word. But see how I lay the dust with my tears.
Live theatre, we love it. So the RSC did Merchant of Venice, not Merchant of Venice, what am I talking about? The Two Gentlemen of Verona a few years ago, and the dog, Crab, had his own dressing room outside the building, and people would queue so that you could get a portograph. A portograph. Oh God, you're hard work, you lot are. You are hard work. I even wrote that down as a thing to say, thinking myself quite clever, but there we go, talking about fools. So now we're going to move on to Millie Godfrey from Stoner School, who is performing Juliet from Romeo and Juliet, Act 3, Scene 2.
Hi there. My name is Millie Godfrey, and I have chosen to play Juliet from Romeo and Juliet. I chose to play Juliet because I can relate to both her age and her defiance. Sorry, Dad. The Capulets and the Montagues have been at each other's throats for years, so Juliet knows that a marriage between her and Romeo would be absolutely forbidden, but she sneaks away and does it anyway. This scene is from the end of Act 3, Scene 2. It should be their wedding night, but instead of Romeo coming to see Juliet, it's the nurse who arrives to tell Juliet that Romeo has killed her cousin Tybalt and is now banished forever. It's in this scene that Juliet is now faced with reality and the consequences of her actions. Until now, she's been blinded by how much she wanted to be with Romeo. She was 14, and I'm 14, so I get that when you want something really, really badly, you don't really want to think about the obstacles in your way. Juliet starts this scene in shock, so I tried to show this by slowing down her first line, as if she can hardly speak. Later on, she's almost gaslighting herself as she tries to convince herself that Tybalt's death was the best outcome because there was a very real possibility it could have been Romeo. She fights back her tears until she physically can't hold them in anymore, and then she sinks to her knees in despair. To help with this transition, I changed to a lower vocal tone and speak more slowly. In this short time, Juliet has grown up so much. When we're young, I guess we think we're invincible. Defying her father had seemed so exciting, but when it all comes crashing down, her courage and defiance give way to despair. She goes from mature young woman to lost little girl in an instant. This story may be over 400 years old, but believe me, any 14-year-old girl today knows that feeling. Thank you. Oh, God. Did Romeo's hand shed Tybalt's blood?
Oh, serpent heart, hid with a flowering face, did ever dragon keep so fair a cave? Blessed be thy tongue for such a wish. He was not born to shame. Upon his brow shame is ashamed to sit. For 'tis a throne where honour may be crowned, sole monarch of the universal earth. And what a beast was I to chide at him! Should I speak ill of him that is my husband? Oh, poor my lord, what tongue shall smooth thy name when I, thy 3 hours wife, have mangled it? But wherefore, villain, didst thou kill my cousin? That villain cousin would have killed my husband. Back, foolish tears, back to your native spring. Your tributary drops belong to woe, which you, mistaking, offer up to joy. My husband lives. That Tybalt would have slain. And Tybalt's dead. That would have slain my husband. All this is comfort. Wherefore weep I then? Some word there was, worser than Tybalt's death. It murdered me. I would forget it fain, but oh, it presses to my memory like damned guilty deeds to a sinner's mind. Tybalt is dead, and Romeo banished. That banished, one word banished hath slain 10,000 Tybalts. Tybalt's death was woe enough if it ended there, but with a reward following Tybalt's death. Romeo's banished. To speak that word, father, mother, Tybalt, Romeo, Juliet, all slain, all dead. Romeo's banished. There's no end, no limit, measure, bound to that word's death. No words that woe can sound.
We did The Winter's Tale when I was at university, and Claire Summers, beautiful, beautiful Claire Summers, I think she's now a newsreader down in South Wales. She played Hermione, and in the scene I played Mamilius, I died very early on. Clearly the director didn't like me very much. And when this statue came back to life, Claire just cried this one single tear down her cheek. I've been an actress for a long time and I've never been able to cry a single tear down one cheek. And I used to be certain that she had poked herself in the eye or maybe put a bit of onion skin underneath her eyelid to get that single tear. But I think now probably what I need to realise is that she was just a really good actress. Because, you know, that's what you need to do, don't you? Fabulous, well done. So now is the actor that I nearly forgot earlier, and I shouldn't have done really, because I've been on a journey with him throughout this competition. So it's Angelo Fouquet from Warwick School performing Mark Antony from Julius Caesar, Act 3, Scene 2.
Good afternoon. Let me take you to 1599. England is in the midst of a war. The Elizabethan era is ending, and everybody is wondering who will rule next. You see, this is where I think Shakespeare got his inspiration from to write his play Julius Caesar. Although set in ancient Rome, it has themes that transcend through time. It explores power, betrayal, and the consequences of political ambition. You see, Caesar was overthrown like so many since simply for being a dictator. Would you overthrow him now? The character I'll be portraying today is Mark Antony. I love this monologue because it takes me through a wide range of emotions, from anger to sadness to disgust. And one reason for this is because I can truly envision everybody being here. To my left, I have Brutus, who has just committed a heinous crime. And to the other side of me, I have my best friend's bloodied body. Yet, even more importantly, in front of me, I have the largest hostile crowd I have ever seen. You guys, by the way. One line that really speaks to me is, "He was my friend, faithful and just to me." As in this moment, I don't care that Brutus is here, or that he could have me killed at any moment. But instead, I simply kneel at Caesar's coffin and speak directly to him. This action reminds the crowd to be human. The way that Mark Antony speaks so profoundly about his friend really goes to show that people in positions of power, at the end of the day, are only human. And lastly, we live in a time when it is impossible to know the full truth. Everything that we see on the news and read on the newspapers has been filtered through the politics of the media. And we, just like the people of Rome, found ourselves unable to pick a side. Yet, despite all this, in this monologue, in mere minutes, Mark Antony skillfully manipulates a bloodthirsty mob into a regretful crowd. His actions show us time and time again the power that words hold. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do, it lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar was ambitious. If it were so, it was a grievous fault. And grievously hath Caesar answered it. So here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for he is an honourable man, so are they all honourable men, come I to speak at Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honourable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did that the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When that the poor have cried, why Caesar hath wept. Ambition should be made of sterner stuff. Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure, he is an honourable man. I speak not to disprove what Brutus spoke, yet here I am to say what I do know. You did all love him once, and not without cause. So what cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Judgment hath fled to fruit his beast, and men have lost their reason. Bear with me. My heart is in the coffin, there with Caesar. And I must pause till it come back to me.
You're just too good, you lot. You are just too good. When I was their age, I looked like Sue Pollard. Niche reference, I know. You'll have no idea, you lot, no idea. I genuinely did. And would have died, absolutely. I know I do it now, and I know I'm stood here dressed like a, I don't know what, in front of you guys, but at their age, I'd have died rather than done this. I was that shy. It was hideous. I'd have gone boom, straight through the floor and blah, 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 in a heap of jelly. You are just too good, you lot. So now we're going to move on to Malvolio. So Ethan Lee from Hymers College is performing Malvolio from Twelfth Night, Act 2, Scene 5.
My name is Ethan Lee, and today I will be performing the part of Malvolio in Act 2, Scene 5 of Twelfth Night. Twelfth Night was written over 400 years ago, and yet the characters and themes are still as relevant today as they were back then. Secret love, mistaken identity, and of course, Schadenfreude. For those of you unfamiliar with this term, Schadenfreude means happiness at the misfortune of others. Now this may seem crass, or even cruel, but let's face it, we are all guilty of being happy or relieved that we're not the one that something bad happens to. In 2025, it is not unusual to see the full of celebrity names splashed across front pages, and it is great for those to be reminded that others considered above them are just human. Malvolio's character is an interesting one. He's an imperious servant of Olivia, who lords himself over other members of the household, including his mistress's uncle, Sir Toby Belch. So Malvolio is definitely a character who's too big for his boots. So why would I want to play someone so thoroughly unlikable? Well, the answer lies within the comedy. Whilst Malvolio is a very severe character by nature, the chances of comedy to shine through are immense. And comedy, now more than ever, is a much needed tonic for the world around us. It helps add flavour and connect with others. I'm no Shakespeare, but I often believe that comedy can be a pathway to forgiveness. In the scene I'll be portraying, the minor characters have had enough of Malvolio's disrespect, and so they plan to trick him. And Malvolio falls for it, hook, line and sinker. Malvolio's story is a sad one, being tricked and taunted by those around him. However, it reminds us that through being kind to others, there is always a road to redemption. I hope you enjoy your very own taste of Schadenfreude at my arrogant Malvolio's expense today. Enjoy. What employment have we here? To the unknown beloved, this and my good wishes. Her very phrases. 'Tis my lady. To whom should this be? Jove knows I love, but who? Lips do not move, no man must know. No man must know. What follows? The number's altered, no man must know. If this should be thee, Malvolio. I may command where I adore, but silence like a Lucrece knife. With bloodless stroke my heart doth gore. M-O-A-I doth sway my life. M-O-A-I doth sway my life, nay. But first let me see. Let me see. I may command where I adore. Why she may command me? I serve her, she is my lady. There is no obstruction in this. In the end, what should that alphabetical position portend? If I could make that resemble something in me. Softly. M-O-A-I. M-O-A-I. M, Malvolio, M. Why, that begins my name, M. But then there is no consonancy in the sequel that suffers under probation. A should follow, but O does. And then I comes behind. M-O-A-I. Soft. Here follows prose. If this fall into thy hand, revolve. In my stars, I'm above thee. But be not afraid of greatness. Some are born great, some achieve greatness, and some have greatness thrust upon them. Be opposite with kingsmen, surly with servants. Remember who commended thy yellow stockings of late, and wished to see thee ever cross-gartered? Ha! I say, remember! Go to, thou art made if thou desirest to be so. If not, let me see thee a steward still, fellow of servants, and not yet worthy to touch fortune's fingers. Farewell, the fortunate and happy. Daylight and champagne discovers not more. This is open. I will be proud. I will read political authors. I will baffle Sir Toby. I will wash off gross acquaintance. I will be, point devise, the very man. I do not now fool myself to let imagination jade me. For every reason excites to this, that my lady loves me. She did commend I, yellow stockings of late. She did wish to see thee, ever cross-gartered. And in this, she manifests herself to my love. I thank my stars. I'm happy. I will be strange stout in yellow stockings, and cross-gartered even with the swiftness of putting on. Jove and my stars be praised! Here is yet a postscript. Thou canst not choose, but know who I am. If thou entertainst my love, let it appear in thy smiling. Thy smiles become thee well. Therefore, in my presence, still smile. Jove, I thank thee. I will smile. I will do everything thou wilt have me.
Do love a bit of eyebrowography. They're good, aren't they, eyebrows? We did Lord Arthur Savile's Crime last year. We had a lot of sniffography in that. And this year, obviously, with Lady Windermere's fan, we've got fanography. There's a lot of that going on at the moment, isn't there? It's quite warm, so let's plough on. So here we have Keoma Jale and Lauren O'Connor from Ash Manor School performing Othello and Desdemona from Othello, Act 5, Scene 2.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Keo.
And I am Lauren. We have chosen an extract from Othello to perform to you today. I will be playing Desdemona.
And I'll be playing Othello. Prior to this scene, Othello has been led to believe by Iago that she has been having an affair. And in this extract, he confronts her about this.
We were keen to choose this scene because we instantly loved the intense mood of the scene. The way the tension builds very gradually towards the explosive nature of the second half, where Othello's rage takes over and he kills Desdemona.
Despite the dark nature of the scene, Othello's rising anger and Desdemona's fear, which becomes terror, it's something that we enjoyed exploring in our rehearsals. I want you, the audience, who know of Desdemona's innocence, to experience. We want you to be on what feels like a rollercoaster ride with both characters.
I was keen to choose this scene because as a young woman today, I felt that this scene reflected on many current stories we see and hear in the news and on social media, where women are victims of male violence, even murder. In particular, I wanted to show that even though Desdemona is completely blameless, she still finds herself in a dangerous situation in her own home. I want the audience to sympathise with Desdemona
and all of the Desdemonas living in our world today, as she tries to calm Othello's twisted mind, but in the end is left defenceless.
I was keen to choose this scene because I was fascinated by Othello's conflicting emotions. Love for Desdemona, intense jealousy, and overwhelming heartbreak. I also felt an instant sympathy for Othello, as Iago has played on his insecurities as an outsider. I also want you to sympathise for Othello and to see him as a complex, vulnerable human being and not just a villain in the moment.
We hope you enjoy our performance. Who's there? Othello?
I, Desdemona.
Will you come to bed, my lord?
Have you prayed tonight, Desdemona?
Aye, my lord.
If you bethink yourself of any crime, unreconciled as yet to heaven and grace, solicit for it straight.
Alas, my lord, what do you mean by that?
Well, do it! And be brief. I will walk by. I will not kill thy unprepared spirit.
Talk you of killing?
I do.
Then heaven have mercy on me.
I say amen with all my heart.
If you say so, I hope you will not kill me. And yet I fear you, for you are fatal then. When your eyes roll so, why should I fear? I know not. Since guiltiness I know not, but yet I feel fear.
Think on thy sins.
They are loves I bear to you.
Aye, and for that thou diest.
That death's unnatural, that kills for loving. Alas, why gnaw you so your nether lip? Some bloody passion shakes you from your very frame. These are portents, yet hope they do not point to me.
Peace! And be still!
I will so. What is the matter?
That handkerchief, which I so loved and gave thee, thou gavest to Cassio.
No, by my life and soul, send for the man and ask him.
Soul, take heed of perjury, thou art on thy deathbed.
Aye, but not yet to die.
Yes! Presently, thou art to die.
Then heaven have mercy on me.
I say amen.
And you have mercy too. I never did offend you in my life, never loved Cassio. But with such general warranty of heaven as I might love, I never gave him token.
By heaven, I saw my handkerchief in his hand, O perjured woman! Thou didst stone my heart. I saw the handkerchief. I saw it.
He found it then. I never gave it to him. Send for him hither, let him confess it true.
He hath confessed!
What, my lord?
That he hath used thee.
You will not say so.
No, his mouth is stopped. Honest Iago had taken order for it.
My fear interprets. Is he dead?
Had all his hairs been lives, my great revenge had stomach for them all.
Alas, he betrayed and I undone.
Out, strumpets! Weepest thou for him? To my face!
Oh, banish my lord, but kill me not.
Down, strumpets!
Kill me tomorrow, let me live tonight.
Nay, if you have
an hour.
Be done, there's no problem. It's too late.
I like that. That was nice, wasn't it? She was like dead and then got up and they shook hands. It's like, I'm sorry for killing you. Let's shake hands and go off and be friends. Oh, that's so cute. I really do feel like I need to do a dance, though. I don't know why, I'm not very good at dancing. Nicolette will tell you. Right, so, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the final performance today. And hasn't it been the most incredible afternoon? So here we go. We've got Shreya from Sir William Borlase Grammar School performing Lady Macbeth from Macbeth, Act 5, Scene 1.
Firstly, I wanted to thank everyone for paying attention to us for this much time. My name is Shreya, and today I will be performing Lady Macbeth in Act 5, Scene 1 of Macbeth. It's a play about a man called Macbeth who kills the rightful king of Scotland in order to become king himself. Then, as it always does, paranoia sets in, and he ends up killing his best friend Banquo, as well as hundreds of other people, including the family of Macduff, the Thane of Fife. Initially, of course, he has doubts about killing the king, but using all of her powers of persuasion, my character, Lady Macbeth, has to goad him into doing it. As Macbeth's power grows and he continues to kill people, he turns his back on his wife, which leads her to become increasingly unstable and burdened with responsibility for the evil that she's driven Macbeth to. In this scene, I am sleepwalking, unconsciously expressing my feelings of fear and guilt, whilst replaying in my mind episodes from the nights of the murder of Banquo, the king, and Macduff's wife and family. Shortly after the scene, my character takes her own life. I chose this piece because I think the complexity of Lady Macbeth's mental state at this point in the play in particular is really interesting. She's gone from being strong, powerful, and a highly persuasive woman in control of herself and her husband to being totally overwhelmed with guilt for the monster that Macbeth has become. In my performance, I aim to show you the insanity and guilt that comes when you commit a crime as terrible as killing someone, particularly a king. I think there's a line of Macbeth's earlier in the play where he says, "Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife." And I thought this was such a powerful image. I mean, could you imagine what it would feel like to have thousands of tiny scorpions running around inside your head and stinging every single thought that you're having? So I used this to inspire my portrayal of Lady Macbeth and to show you the mental pain that she's experiencing. At the same time, her guilt has triggered extreme OCD. So I spoke to a sufferer and have used some of what they told me to help guide my portrayal. In a world in which many people suffer from mental illness, I wanted to show you what OCD and mental breakdown can look like. But I also wanted to show you a more humane and sympathetic side to Lady Macbeth, in contrast to her common perception as being just harsh, manipulative, and dominant. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy my performance. Yet, here's a spot. Out, damned spot, out, I say! One, two. Why then, 'tis time to do it. Hell is murky. Fie, my lord, fie! A soldier and afeard. What need we fear who knows it, when none can call our power to account? Yet, who would have thought the old man to have had so much blood in him? The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? not will these hands ne'er be clean. No more of that, my lord, no more of that. You mar all with this starting. Here's the smell of blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand. Oh. 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 Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you, yet again, Banquo's buried. He cannot come out on his grave. To bed, to bed. There's knocking at the gate. Come, 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 come. Give me your hand. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed. To bed.
Well, what's done cannot be undone, because that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That is our final performance. Let's give them all an enormous round of applause, please. They were brilliant. Right, now we're going to send the judges off. Don't be tempted to try and slip them a fiver as they go. So judges, off you go. Go and do your deliberation, please. For the rest of you, ladies and gentlemen, you've got about 15 minutes to pee, okay? Because we have to be back here at 3 o'clock. The doors will close. Latecomers will not be admitted, and if they are, they will definitely be abused. I'm quite fierce when I want to be. So don't forget to scan your QR code or do your Don Miller Audience Choice Award thingy. Go out, get some fresh air, breathe some beautiful London air, and be back here at 3 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
can't leave this. I mean, what if somebody feels uncomfortable?
You're going to go connect to this acid, and you keep absolutely fine. Bit of core strength. So it's the order in which you watch it. The girls. That was the.
Came into the Shrew.
It was came into the Shrew, wasn't it?
Reader and Eleventh Hill.
Yes. It was the fourth one.
Don't get to see this side of the drama, which is great.
Think about this, And they do it all.
yourself with that.
It's not working. Alright, man, you have to do it. Okay. I know you're going to kiss. What's up with my phone? Someone left it in my bag. I'll keep it now because obviously I'm looking at it. Right. Half the time I get like where were you going? Where you staying with that?
Teach me to try and do the code and find the seat and things.
shushed? I don't know. I'll go out. You all went shush, and we all went, why? Why are they being quiet? What's happening? That was a moment. You should see everyone back there. They were like that. What is it? I'll just check. Shall we get them to dance? Shall we get them to dance? Right. We're throwing the script out of the window, which I do quite regularly. And everyone backstage is going, what's Jen doing now? What is she doing now? Get up onto the stage, come on. So, because the judges are like, they're fighting, there's blood, it's like some kind of Shakespearean massacre going on back there. Things are being thrown around the room. It's lucky there's no pork pies or a boom in the eye. Tamora gets fed the boys, doesn't she? In Titus Andronicus, we're getting there. There's going to be a pie in a minute. They're going to be like that. Jen, eat the pie. Why? Where are the judges? They're there in the pie. Whoa, there you are. Right. Get on the stage. Give them a round of applause. Make a circle. Make a circle. Oh, the hardest thing in the world. Don't clap them. I'm trying to get them to make a circle. Don't clap them. Make a circle. The most difficult thing in the world is to get anybody just to stand in a circle. Make a circle. That's it. Right. So because a couple of years ago, we had a bit of a hiatus, and I came out and just made some stuff up and did Romeo and Juliet with a balcony. It was lovely. And what we've decided to do instead, they're moving the prizes so we don't knock them off the table, obviously. What we've decided to do instead is in the workshop earlier, we did a warm-up. I'm not going to make you do Bunny Bunny because that would be really quite humiliating. We did a physical and a vocal warm-up. We had an interactive introduction to Shakespeare, which was fun, wasn't it? So yes. Yeah. Thank you. And then we talked about how at the end of Shakespeare's plays things can be quite gory, can't it? Murder and all of that kind of stuff, and quite a lot of people dead. Where is she? Poor Desdemona, dead, and all of that. So what happened quite a lot is that they would leap up and they would do a dance. And so we learned to dance this afternoon, didn't we? So we're going to do that dance for you now. But we need your participation. You're not going to have to sing. It's all right. I won't do that to you again. Hold thy peace, ooh, and all that. And what you're going to need to do is you need to clap for us, okay? Don't go faster, you lot. You'll be tempted to off you go and stuff. So we just want a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. Straight away you're going faster. That's cruel. They've only learnt it this afternoon, so we just want a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Jump in, clap. 4 little steps back, then jump to the left, then jump to the right, and then we turn around. Jump in, clap. 4 little steps back. Then jump to the left, then jump to the right. We'll do it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Jump in, clap. 4 little steps back. Then jump to the left, then jump to the right, and then we turn around. Jump in, clap. 4 little steps back. Then jump to the left, then jump to the right. Then we turn around and... So we're just going to teach you the Elizabethan bow, because for we ladies in ye oldeny daisies, we had long frocks, didn't we? So we didn't need to bother with much. We just did a little bob. That was it. None of this elaborate curtsy thing. Just a little bob. For the gentlemen, we are left foot forwarding, aren't we? That's it. Come on, visual display. Doesn't matter. You can be a gentleman this time. There we go. Left foot forwards, and then hand to the head. This is where I realise I've got a hole in my armpit. Hand to the head, hand to the heart, and then down to the ground. There we go. Stand up. You're going to do it. Come on, stand up. Participation, participation. Ladies and gentlemen. Right, here we go. Left foot forwards. Hand to the head. Hand to the heart. And hand to the ground. Well done, ladies and gentlemen. Give yourselves a round of applause. Really thank you. Get up. Get up. Good. That's it. Give them a round of applause, everybody. Yes. Oh, right. I'll just be back in a minute. I've lost my piece of paper. Where did I put it? Oh, it's there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Right, I'll be back in a minute. Back in a minute. There we go. Right. Right. Mm-hmm.
Great, and then Lucy.
Okay.
They are as is Hello. And Millie, if you can run her up.
Okay. Right. Are we good to go?
We're just waiting for Lucy.
Yes. Or do you want me to?
I'm going to go and give them according the.
Oh, okay, fab.
And
Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. But we've got to do that thing, haven't we? We've got to do that thing before we announce the winners of the various different awards. First off, these lot have been brilliant, but we know, as Louisa said earlier, that behind all of you lot, you talented, incredible bunch, somewhere out there is a teacher, a school, somebody who's inspired you, somebody who has worked with you, someone that's encouraged you to stand here on the stage today. So whoever you are out there, and you know who you are, let's give you a great big round of applause. And because we recognise that, we recognise this fabulous thing that you incredibly inspirational people do, the English Speaking Union and the Rutland Foundation want to champion you excellent teachers and schools through an award. I know, the ESU Rutland Award. So there's one for teachers and there's one for schools. So young people, parents, anybody who knows of somebody that deserves to be spoiled, that deserves to have an excellent prize or something lovely like that, then nominate them. Nominate them. It's really, really simple to do. And a really special way to say thank you to these teachers and these inspirational people. And the winners are announced in September, so get on and get nominating people. So, lovely today that 225, and probably most of them are your year group, are watching online. So woo, hello you lot online, that's fabulous. The votes for the Don Miller Award have been counted. There have been over 170 votes for this one. So eat your heart out, Eurovision Song Contest is all I can say. This Choice Award is given in recognition of many years of service that the late Don Miller gave to the English Speaking Union. So I would like to welcome Chris Miller to the stage to help presenting the winner with this award. So, ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the Don Miller Audience Choice Award is Poppy Letting. Thank you very much to Chris for helping present that award. Yes, we've got our first winner. So now what I'm going to do is hand over, because I've not been trusted with this information, because every time I come out that door, this lot are going, who's won, who's won? So to announce the winners and the runner-up, we're going to welcome back our chair judge, Lucy Cuthbertson, and the Director of Education for the English Speaking Union, Louisa Sell, back onto the stage to give some general feedback and to announce the results. So give them a round of applause, please.
Honour for us here at Shakespeare's Globe and for my department, the Education Department, to host this event, because it's so aligned with all the work that we do with schools. And for me, as a drama teacher and as a theatre director, to see what you've done today is extraordinary. We have had a very, very difficult judging job in what was a very short time. And because you've already come with such a high level of achievement and standards, so you were all at a standard already, and then we had to somehow unpick between you all, and it's been very tricky. So I want to thank my fellow judges for their work. I want to echo what was said earlier about the teachers here, because I know the work that you've put in to supporting the young people and the work we saw on stage today, and all the extra work that takes out of your job. It's over and above. And I hope that you've had the most amazing experience. This is an iconic stage. It's the sort of stage, it's the sort of theatre where Shakespeare's company used to play in during the winter months when it was way too cold to perform outside, when winters were like proper winters. And it's not an easy stage. To come out here and then the audience feel kind of close, and some of them are down here, and it's very tempting just to play down to the audience here, but then you realize there's a wall of people on both sides. And what we really noticed was how well you played the space without any practice, really, hardly any practice. It's a difficult space to play, so you should be really proud of yourselves. And just the level of ability with the text, with the vocality, and how comfortable you looked on stage. We have been super impressed, and we are, without a doubt, we can see there are some future performers in the group here. So please be very proud of yourselves. Understand that you've already done such an amazing thing to get here. We have had to choose 2 winners. So I'm going to start with second place. Drum roll. It goes to Millie Godfrey from Stoner School. Okay, and this was again, it was a very tricky, very tight competition, but we want to award first place for such an outstanding performance to Angelo Forquay. I think we might be doing some photographs, is that correct? Yeah?
We're doing them after.
We're doing them after, okay, all right. So we're now wrapping up, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So if you guys just stay here, and I think we've got one more person to bring on, is that correct? Yeah.
Well done, well done, well done. Thank you very much, both of you. So congratulations to our brilliant winners, and to think I nearly missed you out earlier. We were together in an earlier round. You clearly listened to what I was telling you. I'm going to take full credit for this win. Well done. I'm not really. Weren't they absolutely amazing? So ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure to MC for you today. And now to wrap up these fabulous, fabulous events, I would like to bring the Director General, Charles Byrne, onto the stage to close the event today.
Well done. Thank you, everyone. We have had such talent this afternoon. It's been an absolute joy to be here. So firstly, to our students, thank you so much for your marvellous performances. For those of us watching, it was a real pleasure. I imagine for you on the stage, it was quite testing at times, but genuinely, it looked as if you actually had a nice time too, as if you enjoyed yourselves. So thank you very much. And thank you also to the more than 2,000 students who took part in the English-speaking unions performing Shakespeare competition through all those heats in the schools, the regionals, the finals. It's been a marvellous competition this year. And you've heard it before, but particularly thank you to the teachers, not just because my wife is a teacher, but we know that you guys actually have one of the most important jobs in society. So thank you for all the passion and the skill that you bring in encouraging your students to take part in this wonderful competition. Nobody has captured the breadth and depth of what drives us all better than Shakespeare. His characters are absolutely timeless. We find them in ancient Rome, we find them in modern cinema. And he created words and phrases out of thin air that we do not even realise that he produced. And we pick up those tools and use them today without even registering that he made our language. Thank you too to the wonderful volunteer judges who have given up their time, their expertise and the competition leads. Thank you too for the advice and feedback which you have given to the students and the teachers. I know that is highly valued. Thank you to our education team from the English Speaking Union, in fact, all of the staff who helped make this marvellous event work as well as it does. We all think we have possibly some of the most exciting and rewarding and worthwhile work, and we're very, very lucky to be working for the English Speaking Union. And finally, thank you to the Globe for letting us use this marvellous, iconic and historic venue. What we see here today is just an extraordinary display of talent, and it strikes me that whilst you young people, you know who you are today, you do not yet know who you will be tomorrow. So I hope this is not the end of your journey with Shakespeare, but the start of something that you will carry forward with you as you go through the years. Thank you all for being with us this afternoon, and thank you for your outstanding work. Thank you. Thank you too, John. Very good.
Off you go.